Hello? Can anybody hear me there? Please, if you can hear me, could you just type on the comment section that you can hear me? Type on the comment section that you can hear me. Can someone hear me? Can you type on the comment section that you can hear me? Can someone hear me? Okay, Josephine says she can hear me. Okay, that's good, loud and clear. That's beautiful. Okay, today we're talking about how, from the topic that I have pinned down, we are looking at, should men of God be involved in politics? Should men of God be involved in politics? That's the topic for today. This topic was actually, kind of brought forward, or I was compelled to put up this topic because of the recent development in the country, especially in this political era between one of the popular man of God in the person of Father Mbaka and Peter Obi. Father Mbaka had, gone ahead to call Peter Obi stingy, and that he was not going to win the 2023 presidential election because he's a stingy man. So I like, what is a man of God doing with politics? So that kind of, prompted this topic, and that's why we are discussing this topic today. Because if we have to even say, the same Father Mbaka has been embroiled in all kinds of controversies, especially when it comes to politics. In 2014, Father Mbaka had said this to Jonathan, that the good luck in Jonathan, he said the good luck in Jonathan had become a bad luck to Nigeria. And that was what he said in 2014. And now in 2022, it's now Peter Obi's turn, and he's saying that Peter Obi can never be the president of Nigeria. He called him a stingy man who has been cursed. He said a stingy man who cannot give people his money, with the hunger ravaging the land. And you are saying, I'm quoting him now, and that you are saying that he is the one you want. You want to die of hunger? Are you people insane? Where is the Holy Spirit? Saying that a good old man is better than a young wicked man. That Peter Obi is going nowhere as far as God lives. If Igbos want a representative, it is not someone like Peter Obi. He continues. And then when he offered, after he had the backlash for calling Peter Obi stingy, he was forced, according to him, said he was forced to, render an apology. And that apology was, he made that apology under duress, because the command, the Enugu Diocese command, the Archbishop there, asked him to make that apology, that he still stands by his words. Though he said, he didn't say Peter Obi was a bad man, that he simply said that Peter Obi is a stingy man, that a hungry man want someone that is generous. I mean, he's referring to the problem we are having in Nigeria, where a lot of, there's a lot of hunger in the land. So he's making reference to that a hungry man in Nigeria wants someone that is generous. The man that Peter B has so much money, but it is only for him. This is what he said, that Peter B has so much money, but he is I, me, myself. So, and again, I'm drawing reference from this Bible portion, Matthew 6, chapter 6, verse 24, that says, no one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or you'll be devoted to one and despise the other. So you cannot serve God and money. So this definitely will set the tone for our conversation today. Should men of God be involved in partisan politics? So the floor is open now. I just set the tone for the conversation. Should men of God be involved in partisan politics? So let's get the conversation rolling. Okay, I'm reading. Okay, Chinelo is saying a man of God shouldn't involve themselves with politics, because sometimes they say that when you allow the bad people get into governance, so you should not complain when things don't work out. You shouldn't complain when things don't work out, and that you should, in a way, always encourage the good people. And the general understanding here is that pastors are good people, men of God are good people. So they should be encouraged to get involved in politics instead of just sitting down and complaining. And that's why they seem to be involved in politics. That's why they seem to be involved in politics. So that is that. So let me just keep reading the message. Okay, this is experience. Okay, Onyi is saying, Onyi is saying, okay, okay, you can't be in politics and be an honest man. Okay, that's just Lydia saying that you can't be in politics and be an honest man. Well, okay. Please, you can share in this conversation. You can share in this conversation. You can share in this conversation. If there is a link that you can come in and share in this conversation. There is a link that you can come in and share. Okay. There's a link you can come in and share in this conversation. Okay. You can come in as a guest. You can come in as a guest. Okay, and share. Okay, Fami, thanks. Please, there is a link. There is a link you can use. You can use a link there and get in. You can use a link there and get in. There's a link so that you can become part of this conversation, please. So that you can be part of this conversation. Just leaders, especially in Africa, you can't be the two. You choose either to be a politician or a priest. Yes, because just like what the Bible said, that you cannot serve God and money. That's what the Bible says. You can't serve God and money. So please, you can join in this conversation. There is a link to come in. There's a link to come in. There's a link to come in to co-host with me. You can, your comment, please. Okay, I've read that one. Especially in Africa, you can't be the two. You will choose either to be politician or a priest. So the thing is this: do you think politicians, I mean, men of God, always dabbling into politics is a good thing? You think it's a good thing? You think they are being partisan? They are likely to show preference to for a particular candidate, and they'll be biased. They'll not be objective. You think it's the right thing to do? Okay, Chinelo say men of good people, but when they start involving themselves too much on politics, it will be seen by people that they have started collecting bribe. Yeah, but if you're very sincere, if you feel you want to, of course, it's really kind of difficult to separate money from and to separate um, God from money or from politics. So that's why it's always advisable for one to stick to his calling. Stick to your calling. If you want to be a pastor or you want to be a man of God, stick to your calling, shepherd your flock, and you can advise. You can always advise politicians. They can come to you, can always advise them. Try as much as you can to be dispassionate. Try as much as you can to be not to be partisan, not to have prejudice or preference for a particular political party. Try as much as you can not to do so. Yeah. Please, you can also co-host this conversation with me. There's a link for you to come in as a guest so that we can have this conversation, please. There's you can come in as a guest so that we can have this conversation, so that it doesn't look like I'm the only one that is hosting it. You can come. Okay, and just keep your comments coming. Just keep your conversation coming. Let me see your. Okay. Okay, that was what Chinelo said, that men of God start talking too much about politics, and the church that will suffer. Yeah, because even in Titus chapter 3 verse 9 warns that men of God should avoid foolish controversies and quarrels about law, for they are very unprofitable and worthless. So they should avoid controversies. So that's in the book of Titus chapter 3 verse 9 says that men of God should avoid such controversies. So that's made basically that. Okay, you guys cannot see the link. I pasted that link. I pasted the link. Wow, no link. Okay, let me paste the link again. Can you guys see the link now? I think I've reposted the link. I was wondering why you couldn't see the link. Just check again and see if you can see the link. Can you see the link? Okay, the link is there now, so someone can come in and co-host with me, and let's have this conversation, please. Okay, the link is there. There's a link now. There is a link. Okay, can you guys see the link? Can you see the link now? So that someone can come in and co-host with me. Can someone hear me? Can someone hear me? If you can hear me, say you can. Hello? Can someone hear me? Okay, please, there's a link. Someone should come in and co-host with me. So let's make it lively. So should men of God be involved in partisan politics. That's the topic. And that this topic was actually brought about by the recent disparaging comment made by a popular man of God, Father Mbaka, of the Adoration Ministry, the director of Adoration Ministry, when he called a frontline presidential candidate for the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, stingy, and said Mr. Peter Obi was not going to win the 2023 presidential election. And that this was greeted with a lot of backlash. A lot of people, went against that particular statement because they say, in fact, this could be even what Nigerians want. If someone is stingy, if a presidential candidate is known to be a stingy person, it means that he's going to guide our money, he's going to protect the money, he's going to, plug all the leakages that have been, they've been using to siphon our money with all kinds of bogus contracts, elephant projects, that if we do have a president that is stingy, indeed, he was going to take good care of our, Commonwealth. And though that is debatable, but that seems to be the general opinion about people. So they would rather want to have a president that is stingy, into having a president that is so so generous, a president that is so generous that keeps giving out the country's money without having to understand that this money and that we do not have so much of it. And that's why they say they would prefer Mr. Peter Obi. So I don't know whether that is true, that if for the fact that Mr. Peter Obi seems to be stingy, will it make him a good president? Will it mean that if he gets into the office of the president, he's going to ensure that our money is safe? He's going to ensure that projects that should be done should be projects that should have, serious impact for the well-being of the citizens. So that is the thinking. No link up to now. There's a link. Please just scroll down. There should be a link. There should be a link. Is there no link? There should be a link. Okay, let me copy this and paste it. Okay, let me try and see if I can put the link again. Let me try and see if I can put the link again. So I've tried to put the link again. I hope you can see the link now. If you can see the link, I've put the link again. Can you guys see the link? Can you guys see the link? Can you see the link? So that is the situation now. So what do you think as a man of God, we should not get, I mean, there should be some Bible passages that can either support the involvement of men of God in politics, or they can, against their involvement in politics. Can you see the link? Can you see the link? Okay, well, if there's no link, can we just carry on with the conversation? Let me be reading comments. So, what is your own view on this topic? What's your view on this topic? What's your view on the topic? Okay, I think the link is finally up now. I was wondering, why wasn't this link up? Okay. So what's your opinion on this? I'm not even seeing much comment on this. Is it okay? Is it okay that that men of God should be involved in politics? That probably sanitize the system. It will sanitize the system and make people more responsible, as it were. And that because you're a man of God, you be conscientized. You not want to steal. You not want to do. You not want to steal the country's commonwealth. You be able to do the things that you said you were going to do those things during your electioneering campaign, because you're a man of God. You're conscientized. Or you think that men of God should allow politicians to run the the affairs of the country, and then they concentrate more on their spiritual calling? You think that is the right thing to do? Because a lot of people are saying that Father Mbaka should not have. It's not even about Father Mbaka. So many of them, so many so-called men of God, you see them getting involved in politics. It's just that the case of Father Mbaka is he's a famous priest, and he's like what he said in 2014, which I read out a few when I started this live stream, when he said that the good luck in Jonathan was now like the bad luck to Nigeria. So that is that. So if you can see the link, please come in and let's talk. Okay, is Fami still there? Come and co-host with me. Come and co-host with me. So, what are your views? What are your views? I'm not really reading much comments here. What are your views? Should men of God be involved in politics? What are your views? You think if they are involved, if they get into politics, that's going to sanitize the system. That's going to make the system more attractive for good people to want to come into politics. Because as it is now, most people run away from coming into politics because they feel the game is dirty. Do you think men of God that find themselves in politics would actually sanitize and clean up the system to make the system more attractive for the good people? You think that will happen? So that's the conversation here. I'm not really seeing much interaction. Okay. Okay, Fami, I'll be okay backstage. All right, Fami. So, what is the conversation? What are you guys? What are your views on the topic? What are your views on the topic? What are your views on the topic? You think men of God coming into politics will clean up the system and make the place more attractive? You think so? Or you think men of God should respect their spiritual calling and then limit their interference into politics? What are your reactions? Okay.
Hi, Shanice.
Yeah, funny. It's long time coming.
I'll be here.
It's long time coming. I was wondering. I kept sending the link, and you guys were saying you couldn't see the link. I kept sending the link. You say you could not see the link.
Okay.
Okay. So the topic, that's the topic. That's the topic there. I just Fami.
Yeah.
Fami, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I said should men of God be involved in partisan politics, or they should just restrict themselves to their spiritual calling?
Hello, Chinese.
Yes.
Okay. Let me chip in my. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for this time, hosts. Greetings, my co-host Josephine. So let me quickly go into the topic. Yes, if you ask me, it is not totally in their place to participate in politics. I mean, the men of God.
Okay.
It is not totally in their place, because it's more like I don't know how to put the word here now. Their place is to pray. Their place is to guide the people in power. Their place is to see that the right things are done. Okay, so it's not in their place to only come out, even when it comes to telling people, their followers, to say, go and vote this person, go and vote that person, a particular person they want the person to vote is not in their place. It is only in their place to give wise counsel, know what is right, check records, see who you feel is going to give value to your country and nation. Go for the person and cast your vote. So they are more like our God we have on earth, we see, that we listen to. So when a man of God is coming to say, sorry, I want to use the instance of Father Mbaka, his conversations to Peter, I feel is coming from a place of personal, maybe there's been a personal thing between the two of them. So
he's personal relationship.
Yes, he's mixing it up with his office, forgetting who he is. He's not supposed to come out to the public. No matter what happens, there are things you don't come out to the public to say to people, because you will make your followers to lose hope in you or begin to doubt God. So this is the reason why men of God cannot fully participate. If going by men of God, like the ones we have today, there are a lot of men of God that have crowd. They know these things, so they rather stay in the place God has called them to. Because if they come out today to say they want to be the president, governors, they will win because they have followers. But they know their place, so they are guided in things that they do and how they do the things that they do. So it is totally wrong for him to have called him out like that by saying what he said. He will make so many people to lose their faith in God. Some people that are trying to they are looking up to him for certain things. Okay, because of his personality. Okay, I know God still exists. Hearing such things, we want to like take a second thought to like, I thought this man was a man of God. That's the reason why they guide their office. Guide their office. The Bible says.
Yeah, continue, Fami. When you're done, I need to ask a question. Yeah.
Guide your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. Now, okay, having said that about the people we are looking up to, we now bring it down home to us, even as a people, like me, you now, and everyone in the chat. How well are we behaving, even in our relationship with our fellow content creators? Now, your personality should reflect who you want people to actually who you want people to see God as. Do you understand? So we try as much as we can daily to be better version of our yesterday, So it is not just okay to come out here and say, Father Mbaka said this, Peter Obi did this, but now what are you going to learn from what he has said, what has happened?
Okay. Now, what I want to say is this: do you think if men of God become indifferent or stay on the fence, as it were, that the politics, just like it is, they say politics is a dirty game and to continue to be dirty, and that we need men of God to come in and clean the system so that it can be attractive to good people. Do you see it from that perspective as well, that they should allow men of God to come into the system in order to sanitize and make the system attractive for good people to come into politics?
No. I don't think the thing men of God will change anything. Being a man of God, everybody can be a man of God. Some people just disguise in that men of God, but they don't have good character.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Can you hear me, host and everyone?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, Fanny.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm saying that it's not just, I don't agree with the fact that a man of God or men of God coming into the system will clean everything. It's not totally true. The only thing that will clean everything is individuals working on themselves, whether man of God or no man of God, because most people hide under the umbrella of I'm a man of God. They preach the word of God, they teach you the word of God, but they don't have personal disciplines. There are certain things that they have not worked on themselves on. So it's not just about the man of God. No, it's not.
Okay, now I want to ask this. Do you think Nigerians are not ready for men of God to take over? In fact, to take over Asura? You think Nigerians are not ready for they still prefer the normal politicians, that they prefer normal politicians to men of God? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think Nigerians are not ready. It's not about having a man of God or no man of God, because it's not anything. Nigerians are not ready for that.
because why I'm saying this, the last presidential primary that was conducted under the platform of APC, a particular man of God, that was Pastor Tunde Bakare of the Latter Day Assembly. In fact, he said that God actually elected him, and that he was going to be the 16th president of Nigeria, and that he was coming. So it was a shock that he could not even garner one vote, telling you that Nigerians are not yet ready for men of God to come into politics.
My brother, the thing is this: most of them come there with I don't know if I'm right, but from my own, I don't know if it's totally true, but if you ask me, you know, these people that they say they are pastors, they want to be, they are coming into politics, they are confused, they don't know what they want. And God, for them not to even win a vote, it tells you that God's hand is in it. It's not about the people. They are selfish. They are just using their office to want to enter into a place where they know they will not have respect for rule and order. They will mesmerize God when they get into power. And I'm sure that is why God is making it, God is working out things in a way that nobody is even reverencing them as regarding their pursuits. So they go and rest. The thing is their selfish interests, their office, forget all that. They are men of God. If they were men of God and truly they are called to service to God, they should follow their flocks and push them. They should be somebody, because among your congregation, they will have someone that is a politician. A few persons will be politicians. Why not support that person if you see the person's character is okay? Why not build that person, the person, and then support the person to become that which you know as a pastor cannot be, because of the people that are looking up to you, if not for selfish reasons.
Okay, so now, what is your advice to men of God as it is now? Because it looks like it's as if there's so much going on in governance that they are yearning to come in and then contribute, or maybe contribute their quota and maybe revamp the system, and then people are not even allowing them in.
It tells you that God is involved in it. God knows that they're not coming there to do the right thing. What are we not talking? You've been trying something for ages, it's not working. You still keep coming back. Why not channel your energy to your ministry and then maybe raise an army in your ministry to do the work?
Yeah, you have a point.
Oh, that's just the thing for me. That's just the thing for me. And they will keep failing. As far as God's hand is not in their matter, they will keep failing. They'll keep trying and failing. Until the right person comes, we will not stop praying. We will not stop doing our part for Nigeria as a nation, as a people. So that is it for me.
So for example, now, which Bible portions would really support? Because I know that they say that if God does not say okay, you cannot even, if God does not endorse your being elected, you can't be elected. That's what they say. That God's hand is always on each of the leaders that seem to come and govern us now, or to lead us. That there's always the hand of God. That if the hand of God is not there, then of course you can never be elected. Meaning that God, in a way, would want his own, maybe someone like a pastor, is a choosing one like the pastor, the men of God, to also be in position, in political positions, because it is when they are in political positions, that's when they can touch the lives of even Christians and maybe other downtrodden or the less privileged, where maybe a career politician might not be able to do that. Don't you think so? That God is even looking for men of God to come in so that the less privileged can be touched.
I don't think so. God is not looking for any politician to get into power for the less privileged to be touched. At your level, wherever you are, if you want to touch the less privileged, you touch the less privileged. Look at Osibanjo, for instance. When he was a pastor in Redeem, he made more impact. When he became a president, he became distracted. It tells you that there is more to this thing than what they're actually craving for. There is more. And the earlier they start seeing it from that point, the better for them. You mustn't be a politician before you fulfill the will of God, before you fulfill the purpose of God for whatever. There's a place for every person. If you have said, okay, God has called you to this ministry to do this, focus, stay there. By the time you start diverting from there and going into politics, the people you are leading will begin to want to question certain things about God and about your faith. And before you know it, anybody can just fall. Anybody can fall. And that's what the devil actually is waiting for you to make that mistake, and then people hold you to your mistake and like, okay, yes, we said it, he was never truly a man of God. So when they see it from that point, they will stay far, they will stay off. It's not a man of God is not the one that will come and correct the system. He's a person that have a good heart, God-fearing heart that will change it. You mustn't necessarily be a man of God. Me, you, anybody in the chat box, anybody in the nation, anywhere in the world can make the difference, not until the person is a man of God. I totally disagree. Yes,
yeah, but because with the we are so divisive as it is now. There's a lot of bitterness in the country now. Everybody tends to think that maybe the people from the Christian fold are actually not they're not being taken care of, and I mean that's a general sentiment. They're not being taken care of, and maybe one of the things that would probably give them that satisfaction that say yes, we've been taken care of. At least we have a man of God, for example, it's a man of God that shepherds a very large congregation and come into politics. Don't you think there'll be a sense of belonging, a sense of fulfillment, satisfaction that yes, we have our own. So all the grumbling, all the complaints here and there that there's a lot of marginalization or Christians were not taken care of and all that. Don't you think that would be, they will feel fulfilled that now that there is a man of God, that their aspiration, desires, and whatever they thought they couldn't achieve when there was no man of God will now be achieved. Don't you think?
I laugh. Well, the man of God in the picture is still like what I was saying. It won't change nothing. Now, anybody that is feeling marginalized is just I don't know. I'm just being careful, trying to choose the right words. Should I say should think again, because now remember that you cannot please people, you cannot please everybody. By the time a man of God comes there, you will begin to see other faults. It's because he's a man of God, it's because he's a Christian. That is why the other people are not getting this in this other area. You understand? So these things will always be there. It's just wisdom to guide us. They will always be there. Work on your personality. Be you who. Muslim, Christian, whoever, work on your personality, and then God will do. Sometimes God don't give us certain things because he knows that it's not time for it. When he gives us those things will either destroy us or take us far away from him. That is why some things don't come to us when we pray for them. When you even fast, do this, do that, you don't get it because it's not yet time. When it's time, he will train you. Have you not seen people that, okay, they sleep in church, they do all manner, they pray, God, give me a job, God, do this, God, do that. By the time that job is presented to them, they suddenly stop going to church. as in reducing the service, the way at which they were doing their service. If they were going to church 5 times a week to pray to God before, now they are busy. They want to tell God, God, you understand I'm busy. This was the same person that was almost disturbing God every second of the day. So it tells you that men will always want, men will always say, let's work on our personal, ourselves, and then before long we'll get those things that we crave for. I feel Nigeria is still growing into maturity. Yes, that's why we're making a lot of mistakes, and God will help us in the way that we will not make the mistake that will consume or totally spoil everything. We are growing. We're growing. The people we have there, they've disappointed too many a time. Now it is in the place of the men of God to still keep praying that they change their ways, that God will remove the wrong people and suddenly melt their hearts to bring the right persons. So that is it for me.
Let me give a little shout out to some people. Irene, welcome to my live stream. Thank you for stopping by, Irene. And then Andy, I have pinned the link. You can see the link. I have pinned the link. So you can see the link, Andy. So you can see the link. Have you seen the link?
Okay, so I read Josephine's comment. She said men of God can get involved in politics because they are the overseers.
Okay.
Okay, because I think she's trying to say because they oversee what's going on in the society. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with getting involved. Getting involved is in different ways. You can actually have, like I said earlier, you can actually have someone like in your congregation. Let that person be the one.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Irene J. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in, Irene.
Although I received notification late, that was why I wasn't around though.
Oh, okay. So sorry about that. Yeah. So we are discussing the topic here is just like you have heard. It says, should men of God be involved in partisan politics?
In politics.
Yes, because I'm referencing this on the disparaging comment made by the popular priest, Father Mbaka, that the frontline Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, is stingy and the Nigerians should not vote for him. That the country is ravaging with poverty. Why would they now want to go and vote a stingy man? That they should look for a generous man. Because they say a man that is hungry is definitely looking for someone that can give him food, give him money. So why go bring in someone that is so stingy? There are only things about me, myself, and I. Those were words, not mine. So that's what we're talking about here.
It's a controversial issue already going on because Father Mbaka has always been he always contradicts himself. Every time Nigeria has elections, he's always contradicting himself. You remember during the time of Buhari and Goodluck
Jonathan.
Yeah, he came out then and said that was the Messiah of Nigeria. That was the best thing that could ever happen to Nigeria. He was still the one that came out again and still said this is a bad luck to Nigeria. His regime is this, his regime is that. And now he's coming out again to also say the same thing about Peter Obi. He will still be the one again to still bless the same Peter Obi. We know him. He's a contradicting spirit. We know him. So his own is not even an issue for people to even debate or talk about. It's nothing to talk about to me because he doesn't have the endorsements. He's not like an endorsing organization for Nigerian politicians. So this your topic. I saw this topic on TVC News. They talked about if it's good for men of God to actually get involved in politics.
Okay.
Now, in the Bible, there was politics in the Bible. There was godfatherism in the Bible back then. But if children of God decide to join politics, politics will be played in a clean way. Politics will be, there will be sincerity in politics. There will be transparency and there will be accountability in politics. But at the end of the day, sorry, I'm on the road because I'm coming back from somewhere. But at the end of the day, as a child of God, politics might not and still will not be good for a child of God to actually involve yourself. The only thing you can involve yourself to do as a child of God is to actually pray for whoever God wishes to sit on that seat as a president. Because at the end of the day, we as citizens, we are to vote. That's what we are to do. We are to get our PVCs and do the right thing by pressing whoever we want. But who instills whoever is going to sit on that place and rule us is God. He is the director, the activist, the anchor of the whole show. God is the anchor of the whole show. He's the director of everything. All we need to do as citizens is to actually press the button of who we want to be on that seat. And as children of God living in Nigeria or even in the diaspora, we should always involve Nigeria in prayer. We should pray for the citizens to choose the right person to put there, because politics is a game at the end of the day. But the players are the dirty ones, not the politics itself, because politics is standing there. Politics is where we should know the good and the bad and the ugly. Now, when the good comes in to rule, the bad and the ugly won't allow the good to actually rule in peace. Now, we had a scenario of 2020, I think 2010, Goodluck Jonathan entered power 2010, stayed till 2015, where he was supposed to go for second round. Now, the child of God was seated there to rule Nigeria in peace, in truth and in transparency and in accountability. But the ministers he had, the senators he had, the governors he had didn't allow his rule to actually become fine. So at the end of the day, whoever wants to rule Nigeria, whether you believe in God or not, you need to seek the face of God to actually be able to pick who your ministers will be, who your senators will be. The people should be able to vote the right people to put in power, because politicians are criminals. That is just the truth. They steal your future. They steal everything that has to do with your life.
You don't think that's a sweeping statement?
You know, they steal everything that has to do with your life, with all their fake portfolios. How can one person be getting portfolios that has to do, that is too big? They cannot even turn up to do the work they're supposed to do as ministers, as senators. Most of us don't even know who our senatorial candidates are, who our senators are, who are the people speaking for us in the House of Assembly.
That's the truth. We don't even know who's representing us.
Who is representing us? How many of us know our local government chairman? Most of us don't know. 99% of Nigerian youth are novice when it comes to do with politics. You only hear Nigerian youth make noise when it is pre-election year. After the pre-election year, the main election year, you don't hear anything about them. They don't sit down they don't sensitize themselves. None of them know that they're supposed to actually sensitize themselves. They don't know these things.
Okay, guys. So
now the thing is there. The thing is my concern here. Because I was just using the case of Father Mbaka and Peter Obi as a reference point, but the issue is not. It's not even the issue is much bigger than them. It's much bigger than them. You know, I just want to find out that why is it right for men of God to dabble into politics, to be involved in partisan politics? Is it right?
It is
Should
right.
men of God be involved in partisan politics?
Yes,
that is the issue.
They should.
So why do you think so? Why do you think they should come into? They should leave their spiritual calling and then get into politics?
Not like they are living the spiritual calling. Inside spirituality, there is the physical realm of the spiritual realm. There is physical realm. If they seek the face of God in the right way, if they actually believe that God has called them and say, my son or my daughter, go into politics, so that there will be clarity for the citizens. That's why there will be accountability for the citizens, so that everything will be in the right position for the citizens. If God has called them, let them go for it. Let there not be the fake ones that will stand on their pulpit and scream and say, God called me to come and be a politician, and I know I am going to win as a president. Because most of these men of God are liars. They will stand on their pulpit and scream and say God has called them to come and be politicians when they are not politicians, when God has not even called them. Some of them don't seek the face
Yes.
of God spiritually
Yeah,
to do
of
this.
course. That reminds me of not too long ago when Pastor Tunde Bakare said that he was elected by God and that he was going to be the
That
16th
one is
president
another
of Nigeria.
another contradicting human being. During the time of Yaradua, he came out and said he was going to be God has called him. He went in as a vice president. Still the time of 2015, he came out and said he's going to be the Nigerian Messiah, the Messiah for Nigeria. Now and again, he's still making noise about being most of these people that call themselves men of God are not actually called by God. I don't know the phone number that God used in calling them that they used to receive the call, but most of them are just liars, because they have the congregation, because they have the influence. They refuse to use the influence they have to sensitize people. Instead, they use those positions to tell their people to go and vote for them when it's time for them to become whatever. And Bakare, as he is looking for ministerial posts. That's what he's looking for. Look at my state governor.
You know that. Okay. Let me just pause here and read the comment from Chinelo's Corner. Chinelo's Corner is saying, we don't care to know anymore because they are not helping Nigerians get better. I don't know what she means by that.
We have to care.
Because is she saying that we don't care to know the men of God that are coming to politics, or the politicians? There has to be that one.
I think she's talking about the politicians. We
don't care to know anymore because they are not helping Nigeria get better. Because if we do not care, just like you said, how are we going to appraise them? We need to care to be able to appraise them and say, okay, you didn't do well. Okay.
The thing is, as long as you breathe and survive and hustle in this country, you go to school in this country, you have the child, you have children in this country, you have business running in this country, you need to care for whoever is in power. How you care is, you don't, like, as we are just ordinary citizens. We cannot go and involve ourselves into what they are doing or dabble into what they are doing. The only thing we do is present their case, present them to God, and let God direct them, because at the end of the day, He is the director of those people. He placed them there for a reason. He made them to be there. That's why sometimes you hear they rigged the election. The election was rigged. This, that. Yes, it was rigged, and God gave them the power to rig it, so that they will sit there, because He wants them to sit there. Is the time we realize these things it will be the time that will be better for us. Look at what we wish for, and we God granted us what we wish for, and now people are complaining about what the gift we actually wish for. He has granted our wish. He gave us who we wanted, and now the person is there, and he has dealt with us for many years.
Yeah, and Chinelo is saying again that the phone number is money. That's the only phone number they know. That the phone number is money. Chinelo, I don't know what you mean by the phone number is money. Is it for the highest bidder?
How they say God is calling them. Okay, I'll have to come down.
Okay.
I have to get
okay, I think I get the point now. That when they say God is calling them, so that's the phone number now. It's money.
Yeah,
okay, and
then now, so I'll join you. Let me get to the house. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So okay, Fami, you can join me again. Okay, and then Chinelo is saying, we don't care to know the senators anymore. Yeah, what Chinelo is saying that because they don't represent us well, and because they don't represent us well, we don't even care to know who they are. But I think that's not totally right, Chinelo, because I feel that the money that they are using to sustain themselves, the money that they use in paying their salaries and allowances are actually taxes. So if we do not really care about how our monies are actually being spent by these senators or politicians, then of course, who else will come and care for us? So there is a need for us to care. We just have to care because we need to care. The thing is this: if there is a system where these people can be, recalled. I think I said that in one of my videos. If there's a system, these people politicians can be recalled. I just feel that would be the best thing that would ever happen to this country, because when politicians don't perform, when they don't perform the way they were voted in, and they got there to represent the people, the constituents, they should be recalled. The moment one or two politicians are actually recalled by the people, I can bet you the rest will sit up. The rest will sit up. So if there is light at the end of the tunnel for us in this country, and if that light means that when men of God say, okay, it's time, I want to go and serve my people, and that God, whatever they say, God said to them, so long as they can deliver on the dividends of democracy. Do you really think that we give a damn about whether they're men of God or not, or we're just looking for someone that can deliver the goods? We're just looking for someone that can deliver the goods. I mean, why is Peter Obi all of a sudden a raving moment as it is now? It's just because he resonates with the people that he is not going to waste their resources, because you can imagine, just I can make an allusion now. Someone you used to know, perhaps lived on the same street with you, and then suddenly the person happens to go into politics and then fight for, let's even call it the almost the lowest form of position, call it maybe the local government and chairman. And then suddenly this same person that was with you, that was struggling all his life, within 4 years has been able to transform himself, has gotten buildings in estates, has been able to send kids. I mean, you start wondering what's really going on. I mean, are they printing and minting money in that local government that would so transform this politician just within a twinkle of an eye? So because of this, a lot of Nigerians are very upset. So when they see a politician that resonates with them, that he's not going to steal Nigeria their money, and I mean, everybody even has acknowledged that the politician is stingy, doesn't give out money, doesn't use money to buy votes. He doesn't use money to buy votes. So you see a lot of people keen in to that politician, and that's why you see most people are, following Peter, because there's this perception that with Peter Obi there, Nigerian resources, Nigerian wealth, our commonwealth will be safe, will be preserved. It will not be, all the leakages that we have in the system will definitely be plugged. So that's what most people are saying. But that, again, I can tell you, is debatable, because you have to be able to generate these funds before you can even say you want to waste it or you're not going to waste it. Does it really have what it takes to, generate funds to make an economy work? That's another story. That's a story for another day. So now, okay. Yeah, Fami. Yes, Decency Beats, thanks for coming. I can see you. Decency Beats. So who is going to co-host with me? Josephine, are you there? Okay, Ademola Adebayo says, you're totally right, Shanice. There should be okay, there should be a rightly aligned system at the political level that restrict political fallacies. Yeah, because there has to, because when a politician feels that he can do and even do whatever it feels like when elected, it doesn't have it doesn't have that thing that will make him become a better representative. He doesn't have it, because he can do whatever he wants to do, and then he still comes back in the next electionary year, and he wins and continues in a similar way. So if there is something put in place to recall failed politicians, others will definitely going to sit up, because by the time you recall 1, 2, 3, I can bet you that's going to be a game changer. That's going to be a game changer. I don't know why they don't do this in this kind. I don't know why they don't do that, because I feel that that is the only language these politicians will understand. So that is the point. Thank you so very much, Adedemola, for that comment. So, okay, Josephine, are you coming in now? Okay, keep the comments coming. Okay, I'm reading your comments now. Okay, Fami said, time out with Fami said, we need to be careful how we speak out. We speak about men of God, though. Let's pass a message politely. Okay, that's true. Because nobody is making any disparaging comments against men of God. We are all saying that if a man of God feels that he has what it takes to sanitize the system, to clean the system, without having to be biased, he can instead of wearing the robe of Christianity or being a pastor, and then be dabbling into partisan politics with making some very prejudiced comments, biased comments, then that man of God can be encouraged. If you like politics that much, you can, remove your collar, your calling collar. You can remove the collar and then throw your hat in the ring. And since you want to be a politician, you join them, and then let's see the kind of positive effect you're going to bring into the political arena. So that is it. I understand what you mean by that, Fami, that we should be careful on how we talk about men of God. So at the comments coming in, okay, this is from Josephine. Josephine is saying, let's be sincere with ourselves. The role of religious leaders can't be removed. Of course, the role of religious leaders can't be removed, but if coming into politics would change the dynamics, would bring windfall, would bring fortune. I mean, why not? Why not? If being a Christian, being a pastor, being a man of God, and then coming into politics will bless more people. So why not? Why not? But what we are saying is this: you can't be, you can't be shepherding a particular ministry or a flock or congregation, and then you're there being partisan. You're making, partisan comments, prejudice, biased comments, and then how are you going to, as a man of God, you have to be unbiased in your assessment. You want to critique or criticize politicians, you have to be balanced. You don't need to favor a particular party or a particular politician over the other. You don't need to do that, because you're a man of God. You're supposed to be balanced. You're supposed to be very sincere with whatever advice or criticism you want to give, not criticism that is bordered on partisanship. You don't have to do that as a man of God. That's why I brought this topic up, whether it's indeed, if men of God should, and be involved in partisan politics. So, any other comments? Okay. Okay, amen. AC instead, great topic. Amen. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Amen. Amen. Thanks for coming. And then, Josephine is also saying, whenever they observe certain things about this politician, let them say it. Exactly. So if you know that they're not doing well, the best you can do, because you're like a barometer, you have to mirror as a man of God, you have to mirror the way these politicians behave. If what they do does not resonate with the generality of the people, doesn't bring a lot of goodwill or benefit to the people, and then whatever policies or policies that they have, if such policies are actually anti-people policy, then as a man of God, you have to speak up. So that you have to speak up without having to favor anybody or any party. So it doesn't have to be that, because this now that it's time for election, and you begin to think that every aspirant, as it were, or candidate that's vying for any political post, has to come and pay homage to you, and then you bless the person, and then the person gives you money. And when the person doesn't do that, you brand the person as being stingy, or you make all kinds of uncomplimentary comments, disparaging comments on the person, because the person you shouldn't do that as a man of God. Your own is to be, not to be partisan, is to give out and be balanced in your view, in your criticism, in your blessing. And then you don't need to use your position to curry such favor to yourself just because you're a man of God, and that people will have to come to your church to seek blessing, and then you take advantage of that and then abuse that privilege. I don't think that is right. Okay, yeah, we are not fools anymore. We're not fools anymore. That's what Josephine is saying. We are not fools. Whichever that is right, we follow. Yeah, of course. Anybody that but the thing is this: in Nigeria, you can never tell how good a politician is until he's given a responsibility. I mean, we can tell a better story now. I mean, in 2014, the rave of the moment was the present administration, and then we've seen what has become of this present administration. So that is it. So you can never tell how good a politician is until he's given the mantle of leadership. Then that's when you know whether indeed was the right person to take up the job or not. Politics no more sit down and look. Let everybody contribute their own quotes. So that is it. So I think we've had a wonderful time out here. So we'll call it a day. I want to thank everybody that has been here, coming to grace, and then support and contribute to this topic. So thank you everybody for coming, and I truly appreciate the fact that you have joined me to discuss this topic. Thanks everyone. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Josephine. Thank you, Onyi. Thank you. Trying to call everybody here. Decency Beat, thanks for coming. Imemesien, thanks for coming. Henry Kim, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Fami, thanks. Thank you. Irene J.U., thank you. Does anybody want to co-host with me? Okay. All right. Bye for today. We'll come again very soon. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thanks, 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 thanks.